Hi everyone, thank you for having me here today. I too would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of which the land we're on here today, and also where we'll be hosting Ability Fest in just over a month, which is terrifying. So please excuse a fairly botched together presentation. It's not my strength putting together presentations, but we're here, which is awesome. I also would like to thank Moana and Liza. I learnt so much from that. I definitely get my headings wrong. So thank you for helping me with that. And Moana, I've heard such great things through Get Skilled Access and Zach, so it's really nice to see you. We are here today to talk about Ability Fest, but as mentioned, I'm the CEO of the Dylan Alcott Foundation, and we exist to create a world where disability is never a barrier to reaching your full potential. That is, I'm aware, an extremely ambiguous goal, one that we will be fighting for a very long time, but we're trying, we're doing our best. Our mission is to remove barriers and break damaging stereotypes, creating a lasting social change and cultural change at an individual level and at scale. So to do that, we do that through our individual grant program, which is supporting young individuals to achieve their dreams and thrive, whatever that might look like for them. It is also through our cultural shifting movements and events like Shift 20 Initiative, which is all about showing people on the screen and behind the camera. And of course, Ability Fest, which is in its 7th year and 6th iteration on April 11, which also happens to be my birthday. Thank you, Dylan. I was also introduced as an expert, which is very kind. I am definitely not an expert. I work with some incredible experts though, and have some incredible lived experience from being Dylan's Chief of Staff for the last 7 years, before I had my daughter, who is still not sleeping very well, so bear with me. We also have a few videos in here, so I just wanted to give a warning. Also, if anyone isn't comfortable sitting, feel free to walk around. However you want to show up in the room is fine by me. I won't be offended. Over to a video now. Sorry if it abrasively stops, starts, is loud. It's just how it is.
Yo, it's Jubes. I'm here at Ability Fest in Melbourne, just chilling out in the green room, and I'm so excited to play and I'm ready to go. My connection to the Dylan Alcott Foundation is I'm a grant recipient. So yeah, I've been super lucky and grateful to be receiving help from the foundation in my pursuits of being a DJ and a music producer. I've been doing music for about, I want to say maybe 5 or 6 years, but I've only really taken it seriously maybe in the last year or so. How does it feel to be an artist at Ability Fest? It is nuts. I'm pinching myself right now, and I'm just full of nerves, but I'm so excited. Words of wisdom I have for young artists. I've got words, I don't know if they're wisdom, but honestly, I'd just say, like, if you really are passionate about something like this or whatever it is in life, like, honestly, just give it your all, put 100% of your time and effort into it, and just make sure you're enjoying yourself most of all. Honestly, I wouldn't have been thinking that this is a pathway for me at all about a year ago. My life was just so different, but I guess never say never, hey? Having the Dylan Alcott Foundation support means this, right? It means like opportunities, it means just really cool things to do, and hopefully, you know, a lot more to come for me in the future, you know, as an artist. But yeah, no, so that's what it means to me. 3 words for today's live show. I'd say excited, nervous, and what?
So Jubes is one of our grant recipients. He actually came to us originally and his application form said, I want to be a professional wheelchair basketball player. Every one of our grants is unique and bespokely done because everyone in this room is different, everyone has different goals, and the disability community is no different. We ended up spending some time with him and understanding what he actually wanted to do was play music, and that's where he got to playing at Ability Fest in 2024. As you can see here on the screen, we're here today to talk about Ability Fest. So it is a non-for-profit initiative of the Dylan Alcott Foundation in conjunction with Untitled Group, who are the leading festival group, I'd say, in the country. We do it with Triple J as well. So shout out to Triple J, who have been huge supporters of us since day one. You can see here many different iterations on the screen. Has anyone in the room been to Ability Fest? Moana? Great, awesome. Which one did you go to? Do you remember? 23. Okay, cool. You can probably see, Liza, I apologise, there's probably a few mistakes here. But that's what this is all about, right? Like, we learnt along the way. Year 1, I would hate to see what we did wrong. In fact, I know all of the things that we did wrong. And every year we're learning, and that's actually okay. We learn so much every year. In fact, in 2024, we ran an event in Melbourne one weekend and Brisbane the following weekend, and we actually adapted and made changes between the 2 weekends based on audience or ticket holder feedback, and particularly feedback from the community. They had some really interesting thoughts, which we hadn't even thought about. You can imagine then flying to Brisbane, knowing that you need to make these changes whilst on a flight, whilst doing many other jobs. I was still Dylan's chief of staff and 15 weeks pregnant at the time. Was chaos, but we did it. And why wouldn't we? Why shouldn't we? So this is what Ability Fest has looked like for many years. Ability Fest is just a festival like any other. The main difference, I would say, is access is at the forefront, but also it is a fundraiser. So that is something that's really important. Budget, obviously, is something we've spoken a lot about here today, but I think that both Moana and Liza have spoken about some really great free things that can be done, and sort of the sentiment that I'd love everyone to leave today with is strength in numbers. And share knowledge, share information, share resources. They are expensive, a lot of the infrastructure and different things, but they're becoming more frequently available, and speaking to your local government, council or community groups is extremely important. This is our audience. It looks pretty similar to every other audience that goes to a music festival around Australia, with the major difference being that in 2024, 21% of our attendees identified as having a disability. And given that is the rough census number for people in Australia, we were really proud of that. It didn't start there, let me tell you. I don't know what it was in 2018 when we started, but it certainly wasn't that. And that's a build-up of trust. So you've got to start somewhere, and you might as well start at the beginning. We also run a survey afterwards, both for our partners who are involved, but also for our knowledge, which is really important. And I think the stat that people rated staff satisfaction at 9.5, and also wayfinding and signage as their favourite features. I never thought I would read that, a favourite feature being wayfinding and signage. Mine personally was the chicken nugget van, but everybody loved it. And why did they love it? Because it makes everyone's experience, whether you have a disability or otherwise, more enjoyable. So what makes it different? As we've spoken about, accessibility is, at the forefront, is a really big part of what we do. We started the event in a full volunteer capacity. So everybody donated their time, artists, access consultants, myself, Dylan, everyone. We had real estate agents lending us or getting us those signs that say for sale that said Ability Fest. We literally begged, borrowed, stole everything that we could. COVID hit, we all know about that. I don't need to go into it. Then government grants came, very grateful for the government grants and government people in the room, thank you. And we realised, oh gosh, we can actually do this at a different level and make it look slightly different and slightly more accessible to everyone. It started out as a very fun event. Literally, it was Dylan saying, I really love music events. They're inclusive, they're fun in terms of the atmosphere, but majority of my community can't attend. It started there. It then became a really big pipe dream, which is, if anyone's met Dylan, is what he does. And then he says, over to you. You could do that now. So we now feel very proud to say that we see it as an industry shifting annual event. We are still learning, as I've mentioned, but we do really see the impact of what we are doing and what we're able to do. And a large place in which we see that is through tours that we run. So we're really proud to say that before each Ability Fest, we say to our production teams and our crews, we actually need to be 90% show ready the day before the event actually takes place, so that we can take anyone from the community, whether it be government, partners, individuals, we had a local flower show, anyone through the site, and show them what it looks like. Also for people who hold tickets, to Moana's point, they can come the day before when no one's on site and see what it's going to look like, see what it's going to feel like. In Brisbane, it was 37 degrees. As I said, I was 15 weeks pregnant. I was sweating profusely and everyone showed up and it was amazing. Just a warning that there is another video. Rather than me taking you through all the accessibility features, I'm going to let Dylan do that.
G'day everyone, it's Dylan Alcott here, the founder of Ability Fest. Come with me as we check out all the accessibility and inclusion features at our festival. Come on, come on. We've got bindi maps and directional signage to help patrons navigate around the site with ease. Sensory maps and social stories are available, so the neurodivergent community will know what to expect from the festival and can prepare for the day. Access liaisons can be found on site to answer any questions you might have. The NIB Thrive auto sunscreen machines and drinking taps are everywhere on site because partying can be hot and thirsty work. We've got a designated ANZ chill zone where anyone can come relax and recharge, particularly those who are neurodivergent and need somewhere to unwind from the hustle or to use our available sensory packs. We have Nike viewing platforms that gives people with mobility aids the best seats in the house to enjoy their favourite acts. This year, we brought back the disco with double the amount of vibrating haptic vests, meaning more of our deaf and hard of hearing community can enjoy the tunes and feel the beat. No Fuss Flooring makes it easy for all our legends with disability to access the entire festival via their pathways. You can find Auslan interpreters broadcasted to the main stage screens with live captioning during all of our performances. We've got accessible toilets, and our mates at NAB Thrive have brought in a changing places facility to ensure everyone is catered for. We've had the mother of all ramps set up backstage, so any of our artists with disability, myself including, I like to pretend I'm an artist, have access to rock it on stage. We're conscious of our community who have light sensitivities, meaning we have a no strobe light policy. We do love a fireworks display though, and provide warnings on the screen so everyone can enjoy. We want everyone to have the best experience possible, meaning people with disability can bring support workers with companion cards to get free entry, and they also receive a drink token from our friends at Henry on arrival. Need to bring an assistance dog on the day? Well, no worries. We make sure our patrons have the space to take their support animals when needed to the designated assistance dog area. We partner with the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Initiative to make sure all of our legends with hidden disabilities can collect a free lanyard and enjoy all the spaces with no questions. And lastly, our staff and volunteers are all trained with...
There you go, abrupt ending, apologies. You get the gist. These things you can see on the screen are nothing new, and I'm really glad that Liza and Rowena spoke about these things before I did. But I can talk about how we did it at Ability Fest. So as I mentioned, the tours that we do are really widely taken up and a huge part of what makes Ability Fest what it is today. The dedicated comms, so we work hand in hand with Get Skilled Access, which is our access consulting for-profit, for-purpose business that's affiliated with the foundation. They work really, really closely with us to ensure that all of the comms are up to scratch. We don't always get it right. In fact, we often get it wrong. And people tell us about it if we get it wrong, which is kind of nice because then we learn from it as we're going. Our volunteers are extensively trained. This is something that we will not sort of make a sacrifice on. So every volunteer who comes on site, and over a one-day festival, we have upwards of 250 volunteers. Every volunteer we have is a staff member we don't have to pay for, which as a non-for-profit is phenomenal. We give them added value. So they all get a ticket to the event, but they also all get access and consulting training online as an online module before they enter the site. Everyone has to have it. Then when they get there on the day, they are actually briefed on the day by our on-site access consultants, and pending the size of the event, we will try to have anywhere between 3 and 5 dedicated access consultants on site. Not always possible, but you do your best. Companion tickets, it's a huge part of what we do. You'll notice that in the video Dylan spoke about our partners, and I'll touch on partners in a minute, but being able to reward, notice, show gratitude towards our companion support workers is a really big part of what we do. We also don't make someone tell us who that is at the point of purchasing a ticket. If you're purchasing a ticket today for an event in 6 weeks, 6 months' time, you have no fucking idea who your support worker is going to be, and nor should you. And that's okay. So it's telling you, you can tell us whenever that time might be, you can tell us on the day. It's having dedicated ticketing lanes, gates there so that people can come through. They're not being rushed. They're coming through in their own journey. We also, speaking of the ticketing process, we have had our problems as well. We've worked with many different ticketing partners. None of them are perfect, to be totally honest. We now are working, what I would say, quite successfully with Megatix, who are a Perth-based organisation. Every year we start our ticketing journey, we go through the website from start to finish and check the journey. Every year, changes need to be made. So it's about finding one that suits your event and what you're trying to achieve. We also work hand in hand with our customer service team, which is an access at Ability Fest or access at Untitled Group email address so that the person who's emailing feels welcome. And our social media plan is a huge part of it. So someone might not want to email, or they might not want to go on the website, but if they can go on the socials and see what they can expect is a really nice way to do it. And Moana, you mentioned journey and day planning, huge part of it. And that is a lot of the work that we do with Bindi Maps, which is our wayfinding partner. so that someone can, from the comfort of their home, go, can I attend this event and feel comfortable and enjoy myself? So they can actually plan that from at home. We have sensory maps, and we also have visual stories throughout the day. We have menus on bars, so it's at accessible heights. And we've also worked with Auslan Stage Left since year one. So I believe, or I'm told, we were one of the first music festivals to utilise them. They are now probably most people's highlight. If you see them on the stage, and you saw a little bit in the video, they're performers in their own right. And actually getting to watch them, and as someone who is trying to learn Auslan at the moment, it's extraordinary what they do. And when our artists give them their set list and their song lists the day before, and they go home and study this, it's so wild. So, and I think the thing that I really like to highlight is that these little changes can be made, and you might think that you've really progressed, but just coming to a day like today shows that you're interested to learn more. And I will go away from today with learnings, and I'm considered an expert. So if you can all go away and take one thing from this, I think that's important. We had a government group come through one of our tours, and they directly were able to apply the learning of, rather than saying it's going to take you 15 minutes to get somewhere, including the meterage, because what takes you 15 minutes might take me 45, and that's cool. So it's just ensuring that you can actually have some tactile learnings. It's not just the money raised at the event, although that's a really nice part. And in 2024, we raised just under $600,000. It's the media coverage and the reach. And why that's important, it's not just so that Dylan can have his name in the media, although he doesn't mind. It's also so that more people can see themselves and hear the stories that we're trying to tell. And it was really cool in 2024, which then flowed into 2025, we were nominated for an ARIA. While we didn't win, and someone I would say much more deserving who had hundreds of thousands of guests through the gates did win, it was really cool to get that recognition that we're actually seen just as a festival like anyone else, just with added accessibility features. There is another video coming, so just a warning on that, just talking about our partners.
G'day everyone, it's Dill here. Let's check out some of the awesome activations that we have at Ability Fest. Come on! At Ability Fest, we make sure everybody has a good view of the action. These are our elevated viewing platforms brought to you by Nike. Anybody can use these, but especially people like me in wheelchairs who can't see in the crowd, people of short stature, or anyone who wants to take a load off and have a look. How good is my spot, baby? We're here at the Silent Disco at Ability Fest, supported by TAC. This Silent Disco is a little bit different to other ones because we have haptic, tactile, sensory, immersive experiences. So these suits, you can say which stage you're at, the Silent Disco, the dance stage, or the main stage, and you can put on this suit and feel the vibrations of the music for our deaf community so they feel included as well. Welcome to the Chill Zone and Sensory Space at Ability Fest, brought to you by ANZ. Now, this is a zone for absolutely everybody that wants a bit of a break, can chill out, watch some live music, but there is a special part of this for our neurodivergent community. It's a sensory space. If they need to go in there, recharge their batteries, let's go check it out. Our Nike fam also made us Ability Fest merch. You got t-shirts, you got long sleeve, you got hoodies, you got bucket hats, you got normal hats. We want people with disability looking swag with their able-bodied mates as well. Big love to our friends at Traveller who have supplied all the beer here at Ability Fest. Australia's lager, it's low carb, crisp. We've got a full strength and a mid strength. I'm gonna have a few of these today. Big love to our friends at NOB Thrive who are supporting Ability Fest for the first time this year. They provided the changing places, accessible toilet, sunscreen for everybody, the water bubblers, and also they're providing support workers to be able to come with people with disability, have a good time at Ability Fest. We love you. Our fam at Kia gave us a brand new Sportage to give to one lucky ticket holder, as well as putting up all the directional signage on site. We are pumped to have Rove wheelchairs here at Ability Fest. They are 3D printed titanium and carbon wheelchairs. Look, weigh 3 kilos without wheels. Makes me look strong. Everybody here at Ability Fest can spin this wheel and win a prize. And my favourite prize is a 3D printed stubby holders on your chair. Our mates at NEC are making sure all you legends are connected. with free Wi-Fi across the Ability Fest site. Anytime Fitness made sure everyone had a spot to put their stuff with free locker spaces, as well as setting up a glitter space to make sure you look sexy. One of the coolest things about Ability Fest is support workers with a companion card with their mates with disability. They get in for free because this day is for absolutely everyone. Also, to say thanks to the support workers, when you come in, you get a token from the info hub, thanks to Henry, and you get a free drink of your choice. A non-alc, a soft drink, a beer, an RTD.
All right, that'll do, Dylan. As you can see, we have a lot of partners, and we have a lot of partners because if we have partners, then they're paying for everything and we don't have to pay for it, and we're a charity. What we do differently, though, is we try to work with them. So, ANZ have been a partner of ours since day one. They have an incredible network within their workplace, but they're still learning just like we are. And it's working with them to go, all right, cool. What do we need on site? Where do your interests lie as ANZ? What resources do you potentially have to improve the day? And how can we work together to do it? Untitled Group, as I mentioned, is our presenting partner. The learnings that they have taken from Ability Fest now sit across all of their events. They don't do to the same level as Ability Fest. And as Moana spoke about, sometimes it's not necessary, suitable, appropriate, but it's about asking your audience, what would you like to see? And then working with them on that. But yeah, I guess the point that I really wanted to make here is that we really work with our partners to understand their intent of being involved in the day and try to help them achieve that, but also work with them to help achieve what our goals are as well. It's not straightforward and easy. There are lots of barriers and considerations, and a lot of which have been spoken about already today. We try to consider some of these things. So access to accessible infrastructure is really hard. When we ran the event in Brisbane, you would think, given the Paralympics and Olympics are coming in not that too long, they would have some pretty good features there. They don't. We had to bring a changing place from Victoria on a truck that cost a lot of money and makes us not overly sustainable. That sucked. But what can we do in the future between now and 2032 to improve that? Can we combine together with the Brisbane Council and build one? Can we then rent it out? Can we rent it out for free so that more people can utilise it because they are expensive? Supporting local artists is really important to us. We don't like to just come into a state or come into a place and say we know everything. We were going to do it our way. We really like to work local for sustainability reasons as well. We always try to have a representative artist lineup of those with a disability and from other minority groups as well. We like to work with the community and lived experience. So I myself don't have a disability or don't identify as having a disability, but I do have lived experience. But we have a whole lot of staff who do have a disability, and I learn so much asking them what works, what doesn't work. We work with the council and government, and I really encourage you all to do the same thing. They are really listening to what we have to say, which is really nice. And we also work with the Hidden Disabilities Network. So what it's really about, it's about raising funds, but it's really about making people feel included. Music has this beautiful way, and live events have a beautiful way of bringing people together. But imagine if you couldn't attend due to accessibility reasons, that wouldn't feel great, would it? So we are all about trying to lead the charge along with Liza and Moana and many other people in this room, I'm sure, to actually make it more inclusive and accessible. I want to just share this story as a final note, which we have permission to share because I think it's really nice and it's the sentiment of sort of what it's all about. So please meet Jordan. Jordan is a young man in his 20s. He is a person with Down syndrome and he is autistic, and I'm incredibly fortunate to call him my friend. He's generally quiet and prefers to express himself in just a few words. While Jordan has the ability to hold conversations, he's chosen to become more reserved in recent years, becoming increasingly introverted. But something remarkable happened this past weekend. Jordan, who had never been to a festival before, attended Ability Fest with his mum and dad, and from the moment he arrived, everything changed. It was as though Jordan found his voice. For the first time in years, his parents couldn't get him to stop talking. He was laughing, chatting, and danced for hours. He shared a beer with his dad, and probably Dylan, and lit up when Dylan handed him a pair of Nikes. Jordan, full of excitement, gave Dylan a big kiss on the cheek. This festival gave Jordan something he hadn't experienced in years, a chance to let loose, meet new people, and just have fun. Ability Fest provided him with an opportunity that no other event offers, to be included, celebrated, and most importantly, to just be himself. So I really like to share this story because I think it's everything that Ability Fest is about, and everyone has the power to meet a Jordan in their workplace. It does take a lot of really like-minded people, which you in this room must all be part of that group. And it takes a lot of work. Dylan likes to say it takes a little bit of work, but he doesn't do much of the work, so he doesn't know. It takes a shitload of work, everyone, but it's worth it, and it's the best days ever. And I'm really grateful for you all to listen, and please come on April 11 if you happen to be in Melbourne. Thank you.